This is I Hate the Club, especially the Reserve, written and narrated by Brittany Anders-Esparza. It's summer of 2018 and YG just dropped Big Bang. Now me and my homegirl getting ready to go to the club. I hate the club, but tonight I don't care, and that's because my boyfriend just got arrested. I slipped into my Fashion Nova bodysuit and my homegirl, who was wearing a bodycon mini skirt and a leather bandeau top, looked me up and down and said, "You're gonna wear that with a skirt or something, right?" No, I pulled out a pair of jeans. We're not gonna go to one of your little dive bars where everyone's wearing Vans and jean jackets with dirty amoeba patches, she said. I stood my ground and said, "My outfit is fine." She responded, "No, it's not, it's ugly." My homegirl was glitz and glamour. I wasn't, and she never let me forget it. But you know what? As much as we bickered, that was my bitch. My day one, my childhood best friend. And whenever I turned around, she was always there. I mean, of course she wanted me to dress sexy. She just wanted me to feel good after knowing the feds randomly escorted my boyfriend out of a carne asada in Highland Park. They knew where he was at because he was out on bond and had been wearing an ankle monitor for the last year and a half while on trial. I just couldn't figure out what happened for him to randomly get snatched up off of the streets while being in the middle of an ongoing case. My homegirl's phone dinged. She said, "My promoter could get us a section at the Reserve." I looked back at her but didn't respond. But she jumped up again and said, "Oh shit, and YG's gonna make a performance tonight." With excitement I said, "Really?" But she shot me down and looked back at me and responded with, "Yeah, but you can't go dressed like that." I changed my jeans out for a mini skirt, called the Uber, and we were off to downtown LA. As we were stuck on the 101 freeway, I couldn't help but think about where the hell my boyfriend was. I knew his case was getting serious. I also knew if he was found guilty, I wouldn't see him for a very long time. My homegirl broke the silence. "So you still haven't heard from him?" "No, I don't even know where he's placed," I responded. But she started laughing. She was always insensitive despite knowing all the details of my boyfriend's case, and it was times like this that I'd regret telling her all of me and my man's business. She said, "Sounds like a perfect opportunity to find you a new boyfriend." I responded, "I mean, we're not broken up." "Well, you should be," she continued. "You know, I wanted to wait until we were here in the Uber so you couldn't back out, but I'm gonna introduce you to my friend tonight. He's always been asking about you." Yeah, my boyfriend's incarcerated, but the bar is low if that's all it takes for my homegirl to want to play matchmaker. So I snapped back, "Is that why you invited me tonight? To introduce me to your whack-ass homie?" She said, "No, I wanted to take you out tonight because I've been hearing you cry about your thug-ass boyfriend for the last few years, and I think you deserve a night of fun. I also think whatever opportunity comes up for you to forget about him, you should take it." But I didn't want to take it. I didn't want to leave my man. I'd been with him all my 20s. He was all I knew. Besides, he said after he beat his case that he'd give me the life I always wanted. Our first act of celebration was going to be going to Vegas. Maybe we'd get married. As the Uber pulled up, I looked at the exhausting line wrapping around the club and thought about going home. "Dude, this line is crazy. I think I'm a gist," but she interrupted me. She said, No, you always do this. Don't let your situation stop us from seeing YG. Besides, this line has nothing to do with us. She walked out of the car and I followed her through. She waved the bouncer down. They exchanged hugs and politics, and he had let us in without waiting in line. He knew who she was because she was weirdly tapped in with the nightlife. She knew all the radio DJs, promoters, and all the up-and-coming artists. So wherever you wanted in, she got you in. Just like how she's getting me in tonight to the Reserve to see YG. Once we got into the club, her promoter and the bottle girls walked us through the crowd with flashing lights and whistles until we got into our section. Everyone stared at us like we were important, but we weren't. I tapped her down and said, "Hey, how many people are coming?" She said, "A lot, but that doesn't mean you can leave me." She started to pour me a shot. "I want you to have fun." She handed me my shot, and like a good girl, I chugged it. And then immediately she hands me a second one. I backed away. I was like, "No, I'm good." She responded, "I really need you to loosen up. I can't have you being a bitch to my homie when I introduce you to him." I hesitated, but I still downed it, because at the end of the day, a free shot is a free shot. Moments later, security let in a huge group of my homegirl's friends into our section. It was a group full of bad bitches and men who liked bad bitches. I was an outsider and everyone knew it. The discomfort made me want to hide, so I moved out the way as her crowd of friends took over. But a guy wearing a yellow silk top, half buttoned to show his diamond chain, immediately walked up to me. He was handsome. A little too handsome if you ask me. Not saying I'm ugly, I'm just saying I know what kind of men I pull, and per my homegirl, I fall in the dirty amoeba patches category. All slick, he comes up to me and says, "What are you hiding for?" I thought, what am I hiding for? Brother, it's because the girls in this section have bigger boobs than me, and it's making me insecure, and I'm worried about my boyfriend, and I hate small talk, and I hate the club, especially the reserve. That's why. My homegirl waved at me from across the section and mouthed, "That's him, be nice." I couldn't help but smile at her efforts. She was just a girl trying to give her best friend what she deserved, a rebound fuck. I pulled everything out of me to muster up a fake smile and respond with, "Oh, I'm not hiding. I'm waiting on YG to come out." And then he laughed. Why would YG come to the reserve? And I thought about it for a second. Why would YG come to the reserve? He gives me his hand and says, "I'm Michael." But I let his hand hang. "It's nice to meet you," I responded. "Is someone sitting here?" He pointed to the spot next to me. "No, the booth is open." He sat down right next to me and said, "I hate the club." I laughed. "I do too. I don't come here often." He said, "Yeah, I could tell, especially if you thought YG was going to show up on the night of one of his biggest releases." I chuckled and shrugged. That's what my homegirl told me. He said, "Yeah, she told me a lot too." I was taken back trying to figure out what he was implying by that. As he continued with his small talk, I took a minute to peep his game. We were two completely different types of people. The type of bitch he'd go after is in the club with us, but it's definitely not me. I didn't have the jet black straight hair with the part in the middle. I didn't have the YSL purse, and I didn't have the 2016 Anastasia eyebrows. So I thought, what the fuck does this guy want from me? Then when the fuck is YG gonna play big bank? I questioned his intentions so hard that I started to tense up quicker than usual. "Your homegirl tells me you got a dude." I quickly shut him down and started gathering my purse. I knew where this was going. I said, "No, I don't have a dude." He goes, "Yeah, you do." He responded like if he was mocking me. He leaned in towards me and flashed the detective's badge. I quickly got up from my booth in a panic. I turned around and looked for my homegirl, my bitch, my day one, my childhood best friend. But when I turned around, she wasn't there. And Big Bank never played.